last couple of years, there's been so much said about the Cyrus family, and now Miley Cyrus is speaking out, addressing the family drama. She's talking about her mom, she's talking about her dad, and this is something that people have been waiting to hear from her just because things have been so public with the family. And everybody grew up watching Miley and her dad on Hannah Montana, and so people have just wanted to know where everyone is in the situation. Over the last couple of years, fans of the Cyrus family have felt sad watching the family seemingly take sides as drama unfolded between them. So we're taking it back to 2022, the very start of most of this drama, to kind of break it down and talk about where we are today. So after nearly 3 decades of marriage, Tish and Billy Ray Cyrus filed for divorce in 2022. And if you were keeping track of the Cyrus family at all, then you would know that this was actually their 3rd attempt at filing for divorce. They filed in 2010, then again in 2013, and both times called it off. But in 2022, that one stuck. Now, it wasn't super messy publicly at the time. They released a joint statement saying that they had love and respect for each other and that this wasn't a sudden decision. But behind the scenes, that's where things started to unravel. Shortly after the divorce, both Tish and Billy Ray moved on quickly. Tish started dating actor Dominic Purcell, who you might know from Prison Break, and Billy Ray went public with Australian singer Fire Rose, who he later married in 2023. Yes, he married her just months after Tish got remarried. Drama? Absolutely. When Billy Ray spoke to the press about all of this, he said that there were no hard feelings within his family regarding his love life, but it just didn't look to be the case as time went on, at least not in the eyes of the public. Noah and Braison stayed rather close with Billy Ray, but Miley, Brandy, and Trace were noticeably distant, and they were very close with their mom, Tish. Some speculated on this having something to do with how Billy Ray met Fire Rose, possibly the fact that they were 27 years apart. There were rumors that the two of them met on the set of Hannah Montana, and that's why Miley wasn't talking to Billy Ray. So there were so many things going on as people wanted to know, why were Noah and Braison on Billy Ray's side and Miley, Brandy, and Trace were on the mom side? They were at her wedding, they were supporting her, they were posting with her, she was posting with them, but not with Noah and Braison. Billy Ray was posting with them. When it came to Billy Ray's relationship with Fire Rose, things started coming out in the press. Radar Online reported at the time saying it freaks Miley out to see her dad acting like a besotted old fool with this girl, snitched an insider. Word is he doesn't want a prenup, so everything he's earned is going to be split with her 50-50. They're also trying to get pregnant as soon as possible. Miley wants to sit him down, preferably with a couple of her siblings, and see if she can work a miracle, or at the least convince him to protect himself financially, said a source. So that was allegedly the drama there, that Miley and possibly her other siblings were just really worried about Billy Ray and the decisions that he was making with Fire Rose. But when it came to Tish, a lot of eyebrows were being raised when things started to come out about her and Dominic Purcell, because people were saying that it was possible that Noah had been involved with Dominic, and that's why she was not supportive of their relationship. Sources were claiming that Noah and Dominic had a casual on and off relationship and that Tish was aware of this prior to pursuing her own relationship with him, but they both denied this to ever be the case. Someone commented on one of Noah's posts and said, "Like that guy you and your mom both have sexy time with," and she said, "Hey, real grandma, I'm so sorry, but will you please just choke on that fattest just for a little bit? Great, thanks." But there was so much drama when it came to Noah and Tish with, them not following each other and Noah hanging around her dad, not paying Tish any mind. But I will say, by the end of last year, the two seemed to actually end on good terms, following each other, birthday posts for each other. It seemed they were even hanging out. So I do think that all seemed to be resolved there, which people were relieved to hear because they did not want any of this mom-daughter having been with the same man drama to have actually been for real. Now, when it came to Tish, she had been open previously about what went down in her marriage with Billy Ray. She went on Call Her Daddy with Brandy, and they both talked about their lives and their family, and she said that it was a complex relationship with Billy Ray, and she revealed that they had actually been living separately for over 2 years before filing for divorce, and that he had been living in Tennessee and she had been in California, and this physical distance coupled with emotional disconnect contributed to the final decision to end their marriage. And she described the period leading up to the divorce as one of the most challenging times in her life. She faced the simultaneous loss of her mother in August 2020 and the dissolution of her marriage, which led to a complete psychological breakdown, she says. During the podcast, she expressed that she had also just stayed in the marriage longer than she should have, but primarily due to the fact that she was scared of being alone.
What made this time different? Like, what led you to finally say it's over, end of the marriage?
The first part of that is he went to Tennessee during COVID. I need to be here. I mean, like Miley and Noah are young. They need me. They need their mom. And so I stayed in California. And I really, during that period, just took a really good hard look at my life. And I think I did stay so long out of fear, literal fear of being alone. Like, I don't have my mom. Mm-hmm. I don't have my husband that has been my husband for 30 years. Mm-hmm. Like, holy crap, like, I'm scared. And I had like 1 month of a honestly complete psychological breakdown.
What was going on? Like,
I could not eat, I could not sleep, I could not stop crying. I literally weighed like 130.
Do you wish you had walked away sooner?
Yes, but then I'm like, maybe that wouldn't have been right either. Yeah. Like, because I really didn't want Noah to still be young. And but looking back on it, it would have been better for her had I.
But in this interview, she raved about her current husband, Dominic, and how amazing he was, which people were really happy for her. Now, when it comes to Billy Ray, things did not stay very happy with him and Fire Rose, as the two of them faced a messy divorce last year. They hadn't been married for very long, but they were getting a divorce and things were just getting very dirty. Things were coming out in the press. And like I said, his kids were already apparently worried about him having been with Fire Rose in the first place and not protecting himself. And it was very clear that there was significant drama in the Cyrus family because Miley did win her first Grammy last year and she didn't thank Billy Ray in her speech, and she made it a point to let everybody know, I didn't forget anyone, when she obviously was forgetting to thank her dad. So it was very purposeful, and everybody knew that there had to be some truth to the fact that there was Cyrus family drama.
So much. I don't think I forgot anyone, but I might have forgotten underwear. Bye.
In January of this year, Trace Cyrus came out to really tell us that things were rocky in the family because he was calling out Billy Ray, saying that he was worried about him, and he was alleging that Billy Ray was threatening legal action against him for speaking out on being concerned about Billy Ray's health and well-being, and that he hasn't spent time with his dad in a while. So things were just very, very messy. But things started to just kind of randomly turn around as of last month. Billy Ray posted on May 7th this video of him and Miley singing together, and he said, "Can't wait to see this young lady. Crazy how time flies." And everyone was under the impression that him and Miley were not on good terms, so this was kind of shocking for everybody to see. And people also accused Tish of unfollowing Miley after this post went up. And a few days later, Miley addressed the family drama and took to her Instagram story to say, "I rarely comment on rumors, but my mama and I are too tight for anything to ever come between us. She's my best friend, like a lot of moms. She doesn't know how to work her phone and somehow unfollowed me. Simple coincidence and uninteresting. My dad and I have had our challenges over the years. Now, in my 30s, family is my priority above all else. I'm at peace knowing bridges have been built and time has done a lot of healing. Grateful for the good health and love that flows through my family, Miley." But in a recent interview, she was specifically asked about the family feud and spoke out for the first time really on the subject. And in this interview, it was with the New York Times, she was talking about her dad and the rumors of them not speaking, and she admitted that things were tense after her parents' divorce, and she was holding a lot of resentment for her mom, but she says that they're no longer on these bad terms.
Are you still estranged from your dad? Are you?
No, we've all... I think timing is everything. There's been enough bridges now of time to get us all reconnected. And I think for me, as I've gotten older, respecting my parents as individuals instead of as parents, again, because, my mom, it's honest, my mom's really loved my dad for her whole life. And I think being married to someone in the music industry and not being a part of it is obviously really hard. And so I think, I took on some of my mom's hurt as my own, because it hurt her kind of more than it hurt me as an adult.
Miley went on to say that now that her mom is happy, she has been able to look at the situation a little differently, and it's kind of, been all good.
And so I owned a lot of her pain as mine, but now that my mom is like so in love with my stepdad Dom, who I'm also I completely adore, and now that my dad, I see him finding happiness outside of that too, I can love them both as individuals instead of as a kind of, you know, a parental pairing. I'm being an adult about it, you know. At first it's hard because the little kid in you reacts before the adult in you can go, yes, that's your dad, but that's just another person that deserves to, you know, be in his bliss and to be happy. So my adult self has caught up.
So Miley is claiming that all seems to be mended over in the family, which is what people have wanted to hear for a while now, because this is a family that people have grown up seeing. I mean, Miley and her dad on Hannah Montana, it just breaks a lot of hearts to think about them singing Butterfly Fly Away together in the Hannah Montana movie and then think about them not being on speaking terms. So to hear that things have been able to be healed within the Cyrus family is a really positive story that people have just been talking about, and I really was surprised to see Miley come out and talk about her family, because like she said, she doesn't really address her family very often and she doesn't feed into the rumors and things like that, but to know that they are in a good place after everything, it is very good. So I want to know what you guys think about all of this, what Miley had to say, the whole drama of everything that we have heard about them over the years. Let me know your thoughts. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye guys.